As more companies make the switch to a 4-day work week, we're asking how much does it really benefit employees and businesses? Thanks for staying with us. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
And I'm Erin LeBeau. So a survey from Ernst & Young found that the 4-day work week is now standard at 40% of companies. There are a lot of perks for those workers. Some say they feel more productive, have a better work-life balance, and improve mental health. So how can you actually make this the norm at your job?
And joining us now to talk more about all of it is personal finance expert Jordan Goodman, who's also known as America's Money Answers Man. Thank you so much for being with us.
Nice to be with you both. You bet.
Nice to see you. So why are we seeing, first of all, why are we seeing more and more of these flexible work schedules? Is this pandemic related or otherwise?
Well, people got used to it during the pandemic, working at home, and coming back has been very slow. A lot of Manhattan businesses are like 40% of their offices are full, and people are working from home either all the time or certainly part of the time. And employers have to match that. They can demand people come in 5 days a week. In a lot of cases, they just won't do it. People just won't take those jobs. So it's becoming more popular to do 4 days, even 3 days. There was a recent case.
Wow.
Chick-fil-A put out a notice that they would do a 3-day work week, 14-hour shifts, and they had over 400 applications in one store because people said, I'll take the hit, but I want to work 3 days a week.
Okay, so does the shorter work week most benefit employers or the workers, and what are the benefits to this?
All right, lots of different benefits to it. The first one is you have decreased stress. I mean, people don't have to go through all the commuting and all the problems of getting in and out and all that, so decreased stress is clearly one of the benefits. The second one is increased employee happiness. People don't like the commuting, and they like to kind of come in and they can be with their friends on Zoom, but not having to be around the office sometimes is a good thing. Clearly increased productivity. All the time you save, not having to commute back and forth. And people tend to work longer hours if they're at home, actually. Decreased business expenses. You don't have to commute in, all the money involved with expenses. And for employers, they don't have to have as much space they'll be renting. And much more flexibility for employees. We really want that today. And fewer sick calls. I mean, people tend to be at home and they work through things, whereas if they come in and they're sick, they don't tend to work as much. So it really works quite well for the employers, and particularly with today's workers who want flexibility, who got used to what we went through in the pandemic. That's the new permanent way of doing things.
Yeah, really, it seems to be. So let me ask you something. Why do you think that Gen Z and millennial workers especially prefer this type of a schedule over the one that we've had for so long?
Well, they're used to it now. I mean, the pandemic helped. People like to be remote. I'll just give you an example. My son works at Airbnb, and in San Francisco, and they used to go to the office and all that. When the pandemic hit, now literally all the employees around the world don't have to be in their office ever again.
Wow.
The entire company has gone office free, I guess you might say.
Yeah.
So it means that people have moved out of San Francisco, which is an expensive place to be, to Fiji and Bali and Alaska and wherever they want to go, and they can do their jobs just as well. My son hasn't been in the office in about 3 years, and he's perfectly productive. He gets raises. They've got Zoom calls with all their employees all the time, all over the world. It allows employers to get workers anywhere. You don't have to have them in a particular location.
Okay, so how can someone or we advocate for a 4-day work week in our company or their companies?
Well, I mean, a lot of employees are doing that, and they're saying, if you require that I'm in 5 days a week, I'm not showing up. So if you want me, you've got to accede to my wishes. Now, remember the overall situation, we got 3.7% unemployment. The latest job, we had over 200,000 jobs created. There's about 10.5 million unfilled jobs in this country and about 5 million unemployed people. So there's twice as many jobs as there are people for them. So the workers have power these days, and they're saying, very much so, the lifestyle and how it affects my work-life balance makes a big difference if I want to work for you or not.
I'm curious, what amount of work do you think gets done versus somebody being in the office? Do you think people actually get more work done at home because maybe they're a little more relaxed, maybe they have a little guilt, they just want to make sure they're proving themselves and that they're seen even if they're remote, or do you think it's the opposite of that?
I think people get more work done at home. There's fewer distractions. You don't have to go out to lunch. You just hit the refrigerator and you're back in work in 15 minutes. I mean, I work from home here in Westchester. lots of people around here are working from home. I think you're more productive, not the stress and the time and the money, all the commuting and all that. I get a lot more done doing. I used to work at Money Magazine. I commuted into the Time Life building for many, many years. I get a lot more done now than when I had to commute every day.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely can.
I do know that some people who work from home, they feel like they actually work more because it's kind of more like 24 hours. Whereas when you're in the office, it's like when you don't see me, you reach me on Monday. But do you find that that's the case, that people are working kind of a little bit more?
I mean, the idea of 9 to 5 working at home is like ridiculous. I mean, we work way more than that, and we're available. I mean, what I'm doing is all around the world. I've got to be available at midnight, at 7 in the morning, or whatever it may be, because I can do contacts all over the world. If I had to spend a lot of that time going into an office and being at meetings and all the stuff that happens there, I think you're far less productive. And this is permanent. And this is a major change for Manhattan.
Yeah.
Where office buildings is like.
I was going to say it's a big change for the real estate market. It certainly is. Well, you know what? If you weren't at home, we might not have you here at 4 o'clock. So it's nice to have you, Jordan. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you both. Appreciate it. Thank you.